Asking price for Finca Chica, $150,000. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Actually Good Coffee podcast, the show we talk about all things coffee related, all while I drink a cup of coffee. Last week, we sold 864 pounds of coffee. Looking at last year's same week, we sold 617 pounds of coffee. That's a huge increase from the year before. I don't want to get my hopes up too high because I would like to see how the average comes out at the end of the month, but definitely a great start. This past week, we also had some issues with the origin swap for one of our blends. When you have coffee blends, you obviously need to cycle out crops for the new harvest. Because of the wonderful port strike that recently happened, we've been dealing with delays on our contracted coffee, so we needed to use a filler coffee last minute. We had some issues with roasting that profile, so long story short, this was a pretty hectic week on my end, and I didn't really have time to put any research in towards the podcast episode this week. So what I wanted to focus on was actually something that I do more in my spare time as a hobby. If you don't know, one of my goals with Made in Coffee is to actually own our own farm that we supply our coffee from. I think that getting deeper involved in any business within your supply chain is crucial in growing and also just running a successful business in general. So I'm always looking at coffee farms that might be on the market, and my roommate actually sent this one to me. This one really stuck out, so I wanted to go over this one with you. I'm just going to read it and we're going to go through it together. The title is High Altitude, High Value Geisha Coffee Farm in Panama, where geisha is originated from. I am selling a beautiful, manageable farm in the mountains of Chiriquí, Panama. We call the farm Finca Chica. Has a nice ring to it and will make a great brand. Oh boy. The farm measures 5.3 hectares or 13.1 acres. Pretty small farm, just a side note. The farm is located approximately 45 minutes from Volcan, Chiriquí, Panama. The farm is titled, I have the survey as well. I am the owner. You can contact me directly via the contact form on this page or give me a call. Volcan is a small agriculture community. Much of what you need can be found here. The road to the farm is paved. The last 5.5 kilometers is stone and gravel and rough in spots. You will need a decent 4x4 for sure. Finca Chica has excellent road frontage with plenty of level access. Let's get into, all right, he keeps going on. So the farm itself is gently sloping in places with some good flat land as well. The highest point measures 1,594 meters above sea level, which equates to 5,200 feet. Nearly a mile high. That sounds high. If you don't pay attention to the altitude of coffee, it does sound high. But in the grand scheme of coffee elevation in general, that really is not that high. I'm not familiar with Panama and their elevation of coffee. We do have a Panama coffee that we're offering right now, and it's at 1,100 meters above sea level. So maybe it is, but that title just throws me off a little bit. Temperatures are comfortable at this altitude all year long, 50 to 60 degree nights, 80 degree days. There's a cell signal. The range in temperature is actually a great thing for coffee development. The more range that you have, the more complexity occurs within the coffee bean itself. Paired with being a geisha, which is one of the most high value coffees within the industry, this could potentially be a great coffee farm. But let's continue. Right now, 2 hectares are planted with 4-year-old geisha coffee. Geisha is one of the most expensive and sought after coffees in the world. The best geisha coffee is grown in the exact small mountain region of Panama. We had a small harvest last year. Full maturity will be in 2 years or so. I can say this with confidence. Finca Chica puts out very high quality coffee. I have approximately 12 kilograms of green beans right here from last year's harvest. Some will be put aside and properly stored so you can taste it for yourself. How many pounds is 12 kilograms? 12 kilograms. All right, so let's see. All right, 26 pounds. A full coffee bag is about 130 pounds, so this doesn't even fill up a quarter of that. So, all right, the investment required to plant the remaining 4 hectares. Also, 4-year-old coffee plants. Coffee plants mature at about 5 years, so these aren't even mature coffees. So maybe we'll give them a little bit of leeway. The investment required to plant the remaining 4 hectares would be approximately $22,000, including the coffee plants, labor, food, fertilizer, and transportation. A coffee roaster recently commented me, this part stuck out, "Your coffee has the aroma of chocolate while being roasted." I asked if this was good, and she said, "Yes, it is. I love positive feedback. Geisha isn't for everyone. However, plenty of people with plenty of cash seem to like this a lot. This is your market." Thank you for telling me. Recent news articles on Panama's high-end coffee phenomenon is off the charts positive, with Geisha selling as high as $4,500 to $5,000 a pound. This is not hype. These numbers were reported by the Global Coffee Report in August 2023. The sales data is 100% true and easy verifiable. He is correct. There is some Geisha coffees that are just going for absurd amounts. I think there was one Geisha coffee from Panama that went for over $10,000 a pound this past year, very recently. So he is correct. But is he persistent? Contact me and I will gladly send you a link to the August 2023 auction result, whatever. Here is my opinion on the coffee business currently. There are many farm owners planting tons and tons of low-grade Arabica coffee. This approach is a recipe for financial disaster. Here is why. Arabica coffee fetches maybe $3 to $5 per pound for green beans report ready for roasting. Sometimes a little bit more. Not true. This plan involves burning a boatload of cash to support tens of thousands of coffee plants, trees, bushes, and for what? This business model only benefits the agrochemical suppliers, fertilizer vendors, and employees on the site. Yeah, he makes a good point there. The farm owner only becomes more proficient at draining their own checking account and wondering why. This is the truth. Ask around for yourself. All the above is the absolute truth combined with common sense and simple math, the best part. Right now, I have an offer to buy all the Geisha from this year's harvest at a laughable $30 per pound. This price is for green coffee ready to roast. I will definitely turn this offer down and sell it for at least $400 a pound and probably much more. What a schmuck. Sure, other varieties of coffee beans put out more beans per plant, and you'd be correct in pointing this out. However, a heavier harvest only means more labor, more fertilizer to buy, more fungicide to spray, more foliar fertilizer wasted, further adding to the high likelihood of the owner going flat broke. Whichever roaster offered this guy $30 a pound for his coffee is out of business. I'm almost certain. And if not, soon. Listen, he makes a couple good points. Let's pause for a second. Arabica coffee fetches $3 to $5 a pound. Not true. Arabica coffee can go quite a bit higher than just $3 to $5 a pound. He's referring to like a more commercial brand coffees, which is just, based out of like Brazil, these huge farms that are selling to like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I guess that's right. But he's zoomed too far in right now. When he's talking about somebody offered $30 per pound for his Geisha, I've spent up to about $12 a pound for green coffee, and it's phenomenal coffee. Some of the best coffee I've ever had. The fact that he's saying $30 a pound is laughable. Granted, if we're not including the shipping costs, whatever other costs related to getting this coffee to that roaster, it just goes to show this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Selling it for at least $400 a pound, he's living in a loony bin. I don't know what would mislead him to believe that his product is worth $400 a pound. If he had a grade on this coffee that he could show, which I don't see in the actual listing itself, I don't know how. It's so far out there that there's no weight to his argument anymore. All right, he goes on to say, this farm will make you money. How much money depends on how skillful management and fertilizer, agrochemical labor, cost control. I negotiate with these suppliers all the time. You can too. It's easy. I will personally introduce you to these folks should you need any help. Right now, I have a reliable / resourceful person taking care of the farm and coffee. We have been friends for 10 years. He does a great job and it's a pleasure to work with. Relationships like this are priceless, in my opinion. That's a good point. The new owner of this farm would be wise to keep him on the property doing a good job for you too. Asking price for Finca Chica, $150,000. As of 12/2023, so this was listed a year ago. An investment of $200,000 plus will qualify you for Panama residency status. business. For specific details, please contact me and I will refer you to one of the best attorneys in Panama who speaks English, Spanish, Chinese, and Portuguese. I have no kickbacks or any of that BS. This guy will save you money in the long run by doing everything right the first time. Yes, I use his services. Should you have any questions or comments, contact me directly. Before anyone asks, I'm contacting this guy. Why would I sell this solid investment? Because I am considering retirement. Please note, I cannot finance the sale. I will consider alternative forms of payment, cryptocurrencies excluded. If you're asking me what I'm thinking about this, I think this is just, it's not worth the investment. Clearly, $150,000 a year, in order to make that money back just off of the farm, dude, let's throw this guy a bone. Let's say you get $20 a pound for this coffee. Last year was 26. Let's throw this guy another bone and say that he gets 150 pounds this year. Okay, times 20, that's $3,000. Is my math correct? Somebody check me. $3,000 for a whole year. How long would it take you to pay off that $150,000? I mean, if you're going to be planting more coffee plants, you got to wait another 5 years. So let's say you somehow double that amount the next year. So let's say you get year one, you get total revenue $3,000. Year two, let's say somehow your output from your coffee plants doubles. You get 300 pounds. Let's say your quality goes up a little bit. Let's say you get $22 a pound for this coffee now. $22, give me a calculator. $66,000 in year two. Woohoo. You're going to be getting that for the next few, and you're going to be getting that amount for the next few years until these other plants start growing coffee themselves. The math just does not check out. I don't know if this guy is growing another crop that might be making him hallucinate in order to think that his farm is worth this amount with such a low output of geisha coffee. The most difficult part about all of this is not even the product output. It's not the farm price itself. It's getting the coffee from the farm all the way into the United States. It's paying the fees associated, paying for the shipping, getting the right permits in order to actually get your product into America. From the people that I've talked to, it really only makes sense when you get about $30,000 pounds of coffee, because that's how much it takes to fill up one of the cargo ship containers. And what a lot of these smaller farms will do is find other collectives in the area to like combine all their coffee together so they all pay less on the shipping. If you don't get to 30,000 pounds, it's not worth it to ship it into the United States. You have to be getting that amount. And realistically, in Panama, I'm sure you can find a collective to add your farm's coffee in too, so that you can actually get your farm to America. But you're going to have to outsource that to a separate importing company, especially if you're just getting into this. This is a lot of work that this guy is making seem like a dream job. But unfortunately, this guy is living in a dream world. All right, I'm going to finish with the amenities that he has listed. Ocean view, mountain view, altitude, geisha, coffee management already in place, hotel cabin development potential, good level frontage, green zone, spring water, quiet neighbors, there aren't any around, true rustic cloud, relatively easy access, 45 minutes to Volcan, surprising bouquet, surpassing, I don't even know what he's saying. Geisha coffee planted 4 years ago. Second harvest completed. Fantastic ocean views. Overall, just a beautiful place to be. This location is gold. This location is not gold. If I had to make this guy an offer, I would offer maybe $50,000. Maybe. So that's it. I know this is a little bit of a different pace for this week's episode. Hopefully you all liked it. If you did, let me know, and I will talk to you all again very soon.